Hey Queens, thank you so much for joining me on A Queen Safe Space is a women empowerment group, support group that I birthed back in 2023. So this was post-grad, so after I graduated back in 2022. And it is a sisterhood women empowerment group focused for young Black women between the ages of 18 to 30. And it focuses on healing and becoming our best selves, being able to find who we are, self-awareness, self-love, self-care, emotional intelligence, all those great things wrapped up into basically bearing fruit in your life. And I think for me, I created this group really honestly because I knew for young Black women in general, we need more safe spaces where we can grow more. Because when I was in school, I was going through a lot at home and I didn't have the safe space that I needed. And I felt very alone in my journey of trying to finish school because I almost didn't finish because I didn't have the safe space to grow. And essentially, I just wanted to reach out to my other peers, the ones that I did know at the time, just to give them encouragement. So I would post on my socials little snippets of me like giving encouragement, and I used to do a lot of videos of me just kind of like talking about just being better, learning yourself, but there were times where I just kind of like was shut down, and I was like, well, this is why you have your sisterhood, because when you're not strong, another sister can lift you up. And that's why I created the group. And so with the group, we do different activities. So we might do like podcast listening. We'll watch a YouTube video about, so like the last session that we did was for the podcast listening, we talked about resetting I think we listened to Balanced Black Girl. And I listened to a lot of like holistic wellness or more like self-awareness content, because what our generation lacks is self-awareness, because they are living their lives on autopilot. Like they really don't know themselves. We get lost in codependency, we get lost in culture, and we don't get to know ourselves and value our individuality and the solitude within that. So with the group, I do the podcast listening, focusing on that content. I've also tried to like add like little activities. So back in February, we did a Valentine's Day event. It was like my first in-person. I collaborated with a couple of other girls, and we did, it was more for self-love theme. And I wanted to focus more on self-love because most of the girlies, everybody wants to be in a relationship. That codependency, it goes back to codependency, where everybody wants to be in a relationship, but nobody wants to focus on loving themselves. And I was like, I've had my moments where I didn't love myself. So we did affirmation coloring, where I took like pictures from a coloring book that I had with Black girls in it, and it had like I am enough and all those things in that. And then we did a love letter to ourselves, and it was love letter to our future selves. And then we did this thing called self-love cards, and it had questions on there, and we got real vulnerable. Some of us started crying, and I wasn't expecting that to happen, but it gave everybody a chance to kind of get to know themselves. And then lastly, we did a this like affirmation writing, but you put it in a little like little pill like plastic thing, and you put it in there and you open it whenever you need to feel your self-love. And essentially these little things that we do, these activities, is just to kind of like build your self-esteem, build your character, build your individuality, and really just help you become the best version of yourself. Because for Black women, it's already hard out here for us as just being Black women in this country, and we need to support each other so that we can all become our best selves.
Yeah, it's no good. No good. Yeah, it's no.
Flawless victory.